Gundur looked out from the high windows of the tall black tower and felt content. The familiarity of the sights and smells that drifted in on the breeze warmed him. He smiled and returned to the desk behind him. Sitting down, the weight of current events returned to his shoulders, and the brief moment of peace was broken again. Dunland, as King Aragorn had promised, had indeed been defeated, but where it was hallowed as a victory, it was, in truth, a betrayal in all but name. Aragorn had given the lands of Gundur's people to the filthy rabble from Ennard Wythe, weak-willed fisherfolk who could barely string a sentence together, let alone rule a nation-state. The remaining men of Dunland, true sons all, now had to work and serve in the name of these new masters. Aragorn had replaced one power-hungry madman with another, and Gundur's hand began to shake with rage as he thought more and more on this. The only consolation in this mess was the capture and cleansing of the Orthanc, the tower within which Gundur now sat. The White Wizard had escaped the sacking, and his whereabouts were unknown, but without the deep pits of the Orthanc, the White Hand wilted. This, at least, gave comfort to Gundur, for he knew his people were no longer being used as pawns, as arrow fodder, in the lines of Isengard's armies. After a time, deep in thought, Gundur was summoned to the central chamber. He had come to dread these meetings by now. They often descended into political game-playing, the lesser lords of the land vying for any scrap that Aragorn might throw their way. The high-spirited mood of cooperation that was commonplace after the coronation had been lost. Reluctantly, Gundur made his way to the chamber. He was the last to arrive, and scanned the room to make out the belligerents in today's war of words. Aragorn, of course, sat on a raised plinth at the head of a long, black-stoned table. His mood was almost always one of resolve. For all the promises he may have broken, and the lack of thought he gave to the lesser folk, he still stood higher than any man in the room, and carried himself well. Gundur, begrudgingly, liked the man. Sitting next to Aragorn was the golden-haired elf of Gondolin. Glorfindel had swiftly become chief advisor to the king, and continued to represent the interests of the remaining Noldor in Middle-earth. However, for all of their outward unity, tensions had crept in. Glorfindel was adamant a fleet of Ardenaim ships was moving on Mithlond, but Aragorn had openly declared the returning Black Númenóreans as friends of the king, and dismissed Glorfindel's rumours. On the king's other side sat Adrahil and Éomer. Deep in conversation, they were discussing some riding technique or some such. Gundur cared little for these two, and eyed them ever with suspicion. Boromir and Faramir were there also, and now, as the council had relocated to Isengard, Dunedain also sat about the table. Their chief spokesman was Halbarad, a tall man of few words who seemed to always speak to the heart of the matter. Gundur admired him for his no-nonsense words, and wished there were more like him. Stretching away down the table then sat the lesser lords, rulers of the fiefs or allies of the new kingdom. Gruff men from the north sat beside the fat merchants of Bree. Aragorn stood. "Gentlemen, please stand with me and raise your glasses in honour of Adrahil, Prince of Dol Amroth, and Hannon, Conqueror of Dun Larach. Through their efforts, we are able to sit in this tower on a mountain of victories." The room echoed their names, and a cheer followed afterward. Some good news for a change, Gundur thought, was just what they needed. Hannon has managed to put down the Dunlending rebellions once and for all, and has engineered further peace with the men of Ennard Wythe. A moment's respite in the midst of this all-encompassing storm. Many heads nodded at the words, and the men drank. Now we must turn our attention at last to the north, east, and south. The royal treasury has recovered. We have the coin to outfit companies where we choose. Mordor's holdings outside of the mountains have fallen, and now we man the passes of Cirith Ungol and Udun. These victories do not belong to just me, and I would hear you all speak on the future of the kingdom. Adrahil spoke first. "My king, I know there are many here who would say that we must now invade the Black Land, but I think this is folly. Our armies can hold the passes, but if we advance, Sauron can dig in and make us pay for every inch. I say we leave him to rot and press our advantage over the south. The men of Khand grow more bold with each new attack, and my men are suffering in a war of attrition. They have had no reinforcements now for many seasons, and the bridges of Lynn here cannot hold them back forever. Faramir stood next and spoke, a rare occurrence when the brothers were present together. My thought is with my kin, my lord. My scouts have punctured deep into Horondo, and my fears of a Southron incursion have proved true. An army from Harad has crossed Khandish lines, unchecked, and now marches on the mouths. The south will be overrun if we do not support our allies there. Glorfindel winced, and for a moment Gundor noticed the unmoving, emotionless facade he wore fell away to reveal the anger beneath. Eomer spoke next. I too agree, my king. Between us, Adrahil and I can remove the last stain of the White Hand, and can then turn our attention to the border with Enid Wythe. I have also sent diplomats north to parley with the Easterlings who hold sway over the Orcs of Mirkwood, and, on your command, I believe I can seek a peace with them. A man farther down the table stood next. Gundor did not recognize him, but from his cloth he was a man of the north. My king, I am honoured to have been invited to your table, and would speak on what your Rohirrim has spoken of. Aragorn nodded. My people have noticed a change in the Orcs of Mirkwood. It is my belief that the forces of the Shadow are waiting. I think they know Sauron will soon be defeated, and, like rats from the ship, they are seeking to stay alive in a world without him. You will find that Dol Guldur will seek peace. The North is quiet. Halbarad spoke next. The North is not as quiet as you may wish it to be, Dalesman. At least not all of it. Aragorn, the Angmarim attacks grow stronger by the day, and the men of Bree cannot withstand the onslaught from north and south. Our people are safe, and Gandalf has done much to muster the northern defenders. Hanon holds the crossings of Tharbad with a strong garrison, but the Enedwaithrim come across the Gwathlo by their own means. Angmar will break upon Amun Sul, but I fear Bree will not weather the storm. Their people are... He paused and glanced down at the men from Bree. There was a haunting look in their eyes. He turned back with a sigh. Their people are not ready. One of the Breelanders stood. He was old, and his body creaked as much as the chair he stood from. Halbarad is right, my king. My people are stout-hearted, and despite what these Gondorians and Rohirrim might think of us, we will fight to the last. But our last are already stepping up to the battle line. We need help. And you shall have it, said Aragorn as he rose to meet the gaze of the Breelander. Dispatch riders immediately. Let the world of the Shadow now quake as the strength of the kingdom turns its gaze on them. To war. To war! Yes, my Gavan and Melonine, and well met indeed. I am Arike Galadurthan, and welcome back to Middle-earth as we continue on as Reunited Kingdom. Although I just realised that if I tweak the script that I wrote for the intro in any way, then that to war is not going to make sense. But just know that when I did the first draft of the script for today's episode, I ended it with the words to war. So there you go. Right, so as Aragorn suggests, we are going to war, and we will be turning our attention to Angmar and to Khand. My plan is to, in essence, stalemate Mordor, as we have done here. And we will put a force of full strength in Cirith Ungol, and it will sit there doing sod bloody all. We will then turn our attention in Gondor to Khand, trying to just crush them, push them back, do what we can, as we know Imrahil is really up against it to defeat these armies. And in the north, we'll turn the free monies we're now making into pushing towards Angmar. We cannot let Bree die. Now, my hope is that Bree is actually doing well enough to survive the onslaught of Enedwaith, but we aren't too sure. But let's deal with the north first, and then move south. But before I get onto that, Isengard. There were some good suggestions from you all about ways to name it, but none of them really struck a real chord with me. But something that I will just state, as I'm sure I've mentioned before, well, I know I've mentioned at least once, if not twice, I don't like to rename things back to what they were called prior to their current timing. So all of you, and I even said in the last episode, which annoyed me a little bit to be honest, but how could you have watched to the point where I asked for names, but then disregarded the fact that I said I am not going to call it Angranost? I said that in the video. But anyway, I'm not going to call it Angranost. I don't like to rename it to just an older name. Similarly, Minas Morgul is not going to be called Minas Ithil. We're going to rename it to something new to reflect the future of our people and no longer dwell on the past of our people, which is what Minas and Ithil does. And I'm not going to do that, I'm afraid.
This tower will keep vigil over the lands.
So, I will think of names myself as we go through and then just go from there. But as many of you have said, Boromir and Faramir do need to be evacuated because they will just die in that fort. It's better probably to just let it go over to Cand, even though we've only just obtained it, and then simply come back later on and do what we want to it. And do what we want to it. But we need, obviously, money to go into the southern defence. So any troops that can be trained in this southern area are being trained, particularly archers and defensive units. Just troops for the moment. Cand are all about cavalry. So anything we've got that counts as cavalry, or just generally anything we've got that helps defend a line, is very, very useful and will be used. But anyway, as I say, let's start in the north. Silly. Matraith does not need a garrison of this size. Matraith is soon to get a Dunedain war camp, which will give it some free upkeep. So I'll leave 2 Breeland militia there. I do want to strike out at Angmar. My starting point for that is probably to hit here and take this castle so that they don't attack Fenris-Druinen. We can't risk weakening the garrison of Ostsug because we do at least need some troops, or they will eventually attack us.
Your orders, my lord.
So Captain Milion, we've got the garrison at Tharbad, which I will filter some of these into as well. So you might as well go that way, actually. And so I'm not going to take you north, but Hannon, you are going to lead the northern forces. We need... Oh no, Halbarad will, and Hannon can take up Keloniac. Although I'm tempted to put Nerthor actually into Keloniac, and we'll move Hannon on. I think I probably will do that. Although Gandalf will come out of Fenris-Druinen, as he is doing. Because Malbeth and Meindir, sorry, are going to go inside of it. Or we can get some retraining. Definitely do that. And definitely train as many troops as you can. Oh, that would be lovely. If we are really going to make 11,000, then those are all going to train, and that would be fantastic. Oh, and I also should mention today's episode, the book that you saw at the beginning and the artwork on the cover of the book were both created by Enpremi. Now, those of you who've been around the channel for a long time will know who Enpremi is if you watched my Skyrim Aurelius playthrough to the point that I stopped playing it, because he created the sword that I believe it was Aurelius used. It may have been a follow-up, but I'm sure it was Aurelius. But anyway, he created the sword of Archay that I used in that playthrough. He made it for the playthrough for me. I was so chuffed with it. It's been in my Skyrim ever since, and I absolutely love it. And he's also created the Divide and Conquer artwork that you all know for, well, possibly not for the next version. No, it will be for the next version. But I mean, it's possibly not for the last version, because I think he did it after 4.6 release. But anyway, if you've been on the DaC Discord for any time, the blue and gold sort of themed splash screen is his creation. And he's just an absolutely incredibly talented artist to my mind. And I don't care saying that. You may disagree with me, art is subjective. But to my mind, every time he creates anything, I am blown away by it. So thank Enpremi if you see him. Just leave a comment saying thanks, or if you see him on the Discord, thank him there if you get to interact with him. He's done so much, and I'm very grateful. And the book is the latest in a long line of things he's done that I'm really, really, really like. Right, you there, Ranger Captain Eldarian. We can't move Denethor out of Minas Tirith because he makes too much money. What I think we probably should do is get Forlong out of here.
Yes, my lord.
Oh, God, no. He gives 500 gold coins. No, Forlong, you're staying there because you massively pay for yourself. His upkeep is around the 3-4-5, I think. We need someone to sacrifice to go to Minas Morgul so Aragorn doesn't have to sit in Minas Morgul. But anyone that's been a governor for a long time will now be a useful governor and you won't want to move. Caer Andros is probably a good shout, actually, because it doesn't really make any money. Although without the governor, it hates us. And he is free upkeep in there. So what the hell, why don't you just stay there, I suppose? For now. Chuck in a Dunedain war camp when you can.
Orders.
Have you got more than... Yes, how many generals have we got up here? Hurin, the Gatekeeper, how fitting. And Calamir. Well, we've got more Finnan. I think, to be honest, there's nothing really we can do in Ostithil. We just need to pull away. Can Cand get to the river?
I will not waste words.
Yeah.
Yes, my lord.
Pull to that river. Eldarian, it doesn't really make much odds if you go over there, I suppose. You go over there.
Assembling a mighty host.
Take up cover. Oh, Arthurine Knights. Nice. Dude, and I'm war camp. Right, Captain Brandon, you join with hiking Aragorn.
March to exhaustion,
Can we train anything here that isn't obscenely expensive? Oh, we can get some fiefdom units. Yeah. So we've got southern troops training there, we've got southern troops training there, and we've got a few northern troops training there. We'll see how we actually get on once the money starts to change.
Your orders,
But we've got the two brothers defending Aragorn now. They can be his personal guard. I'm happy with that. And we peaced out with Dol Guldur, didn't we? So it's unlikely they'll attack us, but you never know. Right, I think we can end the turn. And Adrihil and Dwinhir governing in Isengard. Oh, look, we can train. Oh, thank God. Oh, that's cool. Very cool indeed. Right. Let's end the turn and see what happens. I feel like I'm forgetting something.
Yes, my lord. Yes, my lord.
Oh, he went down to see what's happening with the Ardenheim. They've got Ardamir, which is just a castle.
Orders. Yes.
There's a rad.
As you wish.
Oh, they still have Umbar. Yeah, I'd like to remain allied with them, even though there is likely to be an attack in due course. Why do you hate me so much? Is it all because of Squalor? Yeah, your Squalor's insane. Get rid of that chicken farm. Yeah, let's start losing some people, please. This is a stronghold, so it's never upgrading again. So, and the bug with it being Fornos, do overlook that. Again, I'm sure I've seen an entry saying that one has since been fixed as well. All right, we can't end the turn, of course, because we've got to deal with Peshtin, who will just run away. There we go.
I will not waste words.
How much cavalry? Oh, how much cavalry? That's wrong English. How many cavalry units are there?
Yes,
if only one unit of stakes would wipe out that entire army.
I will not waste words on you.
Your orders.
But as it stands, that is likely to be an entire cavalry force. Maybe some infantry in this slot.
Yes, my
Look how
lord.
outnumbered we are, though. It's absolutely brutal. Oh, but if it is cavalry, they won't be able to get any
Your
siege
orders,
equipment.
my lord. Yes, my lord.
Let's just kill him off at least. 27. We lost 27 people.
Glory, honor, victory.
We just can't risk them
Your
all
orders,
grouping up.
my
I think we have to attack. There's no way around it.
Engage.
Oh, he has got plenty of infantry, actually. He's got a lot of archers. We've got some siege, but just nowhere near enough. Yeah, go on. You guys get involved, because that will cause some havoc amongst their lines. We desperately need reinforcements.
We march into battle.
Desperately, 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 desperately. We are so outnumbered now. Our army's in Mordor, but if we can just hold Mordor off, I don't really want to attack Mordor. It's much more interesting to me to attack Angmar, to attack Khand, and win that way. I'm not really interested in Mordor. Oh, the weekend. There wasn't a live stream at the weekend, and I apologise. There wasn't one on Saturday because I didn't have enough time in the end. I thought that I would have enough time, but we had to leave much earlier than I anticipated. I was at my family's all day for a family meal. And it went on for almost the entire day, and it started so much sooner than I expected. And then when I woke up on Sunday, I just really, really, really did not feel like it. And I just thought, if I do a live stream now, it's going to be the most boring thing they've ever seen in their lives, because I am not at all invested or interested this morning. Right, Gondor infantry, 29 of you. You're a good arrow fodder, because you have armor and things, so you'll tank it a bit. Dol Amroth governs our garrison here today. We have got those two who are nice stalwarts. We've got a couple of pike units. You're probably going to need to be used. Those are all javelins and those are all archers, but that's just not enough. You're almost certainly going to need to be fodder as well, so step up. And then we've got 150 of you. You are free to fire at will. They won't come across the river. They will stop and just shoot at us. Now, obviously, they will get a fair amount of kills, but it's the best that we can do, really. If I didn't allow the AI army to be controlled by the AI, they wouldn't come in, because they would wait until we are all dead. Whereas it's far more useful to me, as we've just seen, to have them disrupt the enemy. Oh, and if the enemy is actually not going to be paying attention, They're going to go across. They're going across. They're going across. You can go across. You can go across. Like sneak across almost while their backs are turned. Those garrison forces have done very well. They killed a lot of the enemy
Our
there.
allies have fled the field like
But
cowards.
they are now dead. No, 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 no.
The battle is very much in our favour. Victory will be ours.
Alright, how many arrows did our archers fire? Not really very many at all. Move the javelin line up. Cease fire. This is alright, but it's costing us most, if not all, of our melee line. We've got 127 of them still. Oh, that's a
The
ploy,
enemy are
actually.
badly bloodied. They have lost half their men.
Oh, I didn't think of that.
The battle is very much in our favour. Victory will be ours.
Get over to their side and start doing some attacks. You're all screaming at me. Gallo, stop playing at time 6! Stop! But I'm afraid I shan't change for anybody. I am what I am. And what I am stands before you. And if you like it, then brilliant. We've got some viewing on our hands. And if you don't, well, I'm sorry. I move for no man. Right, we've kept our 127 of them alive. They're moving in on the Nomad Warriors. Problem is that when you don't do it at time 6, everything just feels so slow. Fighting unbroken to the death. We have killed almost their entire army. We've lost 50% of ours, but
good tidings. The enemy general lies dead.
yeah, it's over. Their army is so pathetically weak that it almost feels annoying that we even have to fight these. Is there anything left now? Nah, I call it.
This is
373, Kelefin thought 233, but we killed 1,406. So many. Oh, look at that. Fantastic work. 132, 123. In fact, they got the second highest after the Dunedain at 134. That's interesting. The Dunedain killed the most. Their range is outrageous. They're just raining hellfire down on anybody who'll pay attention, and they are loving life. Now, I must confess, today's introduction, I'm so busy at work at the moment, I managed to squeeze it in on my lunch break, and it took me about 55 minutes. But it's not, I should imagine it's probably not as good as once before, because I'm just not, my head's just not on YouTube at the moment. I am now as busy as one might expect a lawyer to be. And so I don't, I didn't have as much time to think on it as I normally do. Normally, before writing the thing, I've had to think about it throughout the week, had a sort of general, almost like storyboard in my own head of how do I think it's going to go, who's going to go where, what's going to happen, how's it going to work. But this time there was none of that. When I sat down to write it, I then also had to think of what I was going to write whilst I'm writing it. So it may have suffered in that regard. Oh, look, you have a barracks that you're not using. How did that sneak through? I'm also quite tempted to get rid of your chicken farming, but then that's silly. That's silly. Let's not be hasty. But we've got good recruitment options here. And once the Moot Hall builds, you can recruit 3 units at a time rather than 1. And if we can get that militia garrison up, and Fanwelond, what's happening with you? You, for some reason, don't have any construct. Oh, because you haven't built a war camp. You're going for a baluster maker, but you haven't built a war camp. Oh, you've already got a garrison. Interesting. Thought ahead for you, but not for the other. Right, you join 3 guardsmen. What are 3 guardsmen going to do? Can they be retrained? No. How are you getting the pikemen? What's giving you access to those Amrothian pikemen? Oh, this one. Why does it not give us Dunedain guardsmen? Maybe you don't get guardsmen as the Reunited Kingdom. That's looking like that's probably the case. So those 3 guardsmen are going to serve almost no purpose. Let's just get rid of them. Right.
Yes, my lord.
Do we stay on the bridge? Do we move into the town? No, I think we stay on the bridge and try and, if they want to come across in a bridge battle, we'll have them till the cows night. We'll beat them many times over.
Yes, my lord.
Right, a diplomat.
Yes, my lord. Yes, my lord.
How about trying to secure a peace with the Variag army. No, if we secure peace with them, the Ardenheim are definitely dead. Kand, you're allied to Harad, aren't you? Yeah, Harad, Rune, Mordor. They'll just come to war straight again. But if Osterfield isn't going to be of any use to us, burn its buildings to the ground. We'll keep the port, because if we do take it back, that will be useful. How much does the port burn for? Oh, no, 1,000 gold coins. Nah, that's going as well. Sorry. Sorry. Right, that's getting a war camp up and running. It hasn't even got a royal hall yet. Ugh. All right, here we go. Moment of truth then. End the turn.
My lord.
See how the world deals with it. Hello, Bree. Trying to bribe me when I'm already saving you with everything that I have. Tisk, 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 tisk. Absolutely disgusting. Filth. Verminous. I'm excited to attack Angmar, though. Let's finally take the war back to them. Oh, come on, Duggledore. We literally just had a ceasefire.
The enemy lays
like
siege
2
to our
seconds
people.
ago. What is your beef? Why would you... You know what it is? As some of you have hypothesized, I am also... Maybe it's a conspiracy theory, but I buy into it. And that is that I think if an army of an enemy has been sent to do a thing, like in this case it's been sent to attack Gelebrin, then that army will continue doing what it was always set out to do, despite what happens in that turn diplomatically. So if we now cease fire with them and ask for, I don't know, $1,000, because they're very generous on that. They're off for ceasefire trade rights. We will give tribute 600 gold per turn for 4 turns, except we will attack their demands mapping impression. Yeah, sure. They want it that badly, they actually are offering to make money. See, so they are so happy for peace. They do not want war. It's the farthest thing from their mind at the moment. But because Hoshnaz was told to attack Gelebrin, and then in the same turn that they issued that order, I sued for peace, I think that is why he's then carried on the attack. Because it's almost like he hasn't... the game hasn't had enough time to update him that he should no longer be attacking, is my thinking. Right, Kirith Orbit or Dunedain War Camp. We've got money, which means all of the troops that we've asked to train have all trained. Oh, look at this beautiful thing. He's gone free! Yes! Forlong's just become free. What do we want out of you? You are a large town. Have you already built the highest tier barracks that you can... town hall that you can build? For your tier you have, right. So, oh, that's so many troops. We just can't pass up that opportunity. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, please. Buildings will have to wait. What else built? Kyrandros repaired itself and is building a war camp. Good. So we are actually making some good money. Don't really need a library. You're very Dunedain. Right. We'll go back and hit Kand. Oh, and troops are available in Minas Tirith. Hello. Welcome to the army. Oh, and the Nazgul come from Cirith Ungol. Right, Cirith Ungol is a garrison that archers will love to be in. Cavalry has no purpose in Cirith Ungol. It's useless in there. So take all of those, and so the cavalry will go south, definitely. Let's move that lot in, merge, see what we can do. 2 more spaces. Take 63 of them. There you go. 177 of them. That needs a general, though, really, doesn't it? But we don't want to use Eddie Redmayne because he's our factionaire and we can't really risk that. We can't risk him dying, so we'll have to keep him out. But we are getting some garrison forces. High King Aragorn has enough of a force, I think, to defeat Kand. Remember, Aragorn himself is a monster of war. But for now... Oh, that they merged in anyway. You take them. Oh, it's Morfinnan, of course. Morfinnan's coming to be the garrison command. Down out and the honoured. Mordor will just have so many forces to hand all the time. But the Black Gate is currently ours. The longer we keep it, the more useful it will become. So it's going for a Dunedain militia garrison. And then I think... Get yourself a library. No. Get yourself a guild house. Yes. Yes. And then everything will be cheap and everything will be quick. And it will be a new glorious victory for the Dunedain. Peshtin buggering off over there. Kand merging its forces but not fancying the attack because they haven't got the stones. Forces training back at home. Methras starting to like us as the population decreases to 0%. All 3 of those are going to train. That's always nice to see. You've got a general. You've got a general. Theland has a general. Don't I need a general somewhere else? I do, don't I? So Derafin's the body. Ah, but then actually they're quite useful.
Yes, my lord.
Orodreth's the one that's not that useful because he's got Le Ben in Marines. Very tempted to send him home, to be honest.
As you wish.
Fanrelond, can you get better roads? No, you've already got plans. Keep it together, Gallo. We'll be all right. We'll be all right. We'll be all right. Try and build roads. 11,000. Now that we make this much money, that's just never going to stop.
Your orders, my
Right,
lord.
take 7 of them, take 4 of them, take 8 of them. Come out here, all 3 of you. We'll keep Imrahil on that spot, and we'll build up an army behind him. I think that's going to be the best bet. Can you train any of those units? No, you can't. The Pinneth Gelling Cav and the Amphalas Pikes I'm tempted to just get rid of, and I have done. You might as well get rid of the Gondor Militia as well. It's only bloody militia. Any army is good army at the moment. You're giving us a moot hall, and then what we really want is catapults, actually. Chuck that in before the moot hall. Because we don't have the garrison there for the moot hall to make us any money. Right, that's going good in the south. Isengard, we want you to turn us to our culture as quickly as possible. So get yourself the militia garrison in case Enedwyth do stick up their heads. And then I want a library from you. It feels a shame to have such a strong garrison there sitting doing nothing. Right, the north. To the north we turn our attentions now.
Yes,
Nerthor, you're marching to the bridge where you will form up the Grand Northern Armée. No, you won't, because Hanon is going to join that army. Nerthor is going to go back to Coloniac in a turn. You're taking up Tirthuin, so you take the Greenlanders. You're going to Fenestruin, and where I will then probably take the entire garrison out. So retrain what you can. 4 units of archer militia. Holy hell. Breeze units are so cheap. Oh, we built all of them. Oh, that is so good to see. Oh, Amun Sul, you absolute beautiful bastards.
Your orders, my lord.
Loving life. Absolutely loving life. We are smashing it, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Arachia Galadirthan plays the Reunited Kingdom and smashes it. Right, Aragorn, stay on there for a turn, because we don't know if the Candish army is knocking around, and if they are, we want to have a bridge battle. Oh, I forgot about you, sorry. Breland going in for the bribe again. Bree, we are not for sale. We are saviours. Saviours. In our bloodline runs true the blood of Numenor proper. And these fools, these Mordorian fools, seek to waste away on the borders of the walls of Cirith Ungol, where we shall meet them, and we shall beat them, and we will make them pay for every inch of Cirith Ungol that they take. Because hopefully they'll attack it. Oh, a Master Horse Breeders, that's pretty cool. Oh, Enedwyth, do me a favour. Flaithertach. What an absolute mouthful of a name. Oh, town ready to upgrade. Oh, Fenestruin. Oh, fantastic. Well done, Gandalf. Gandalf is an absolute bossing it up over there. Oh, look, we don't need 1 sellsword. Get rid of that. And 2 Wolfsworn recruits ain't doing nothing.
Yes,
Ain't is a very poor term. That's a colloquialism we shouldn't be using. They are not.
Your orders, my lord.
Malva's taking up the governance, and he's staying there. Oh, look, an Angrim army comes. The army in Ossul that is training, I'm going to take all of them when they train, and they're going to join this northern assault force.
Your orders, my yes, my lord.
So we've got Hanon, so head away to the bridge. Halbarad, head over to the bridge. Gandalf, stay there for now, because as we say, we don't know what's happening with these fools. Those 10 journeymen, we can't do anything with them either. I only want troops that we can actually train. Oh, look at the war camp production. That's fantastic. Minas Tirith built a Dunedain war camp. We can now actually train some troops. Minas Tirith, if you would get the next tier. Yes, canned. They have come for us. Very well. Oh, you haven't even got a Master Carpenter's hut. Which is the 2nd tier. Dear Minas Tirith, come on. No, we'll get one of them first then. Master Carpenter's hut, Minas Tirith. Tharagrondos built a library. Not really sure why, because it's very heavily Dunedain, but that'll do. You're all about eco buildings this far away. No, I'm not interested in any way with anything other than eco. You're too far to be of use. We could get a ballista in Fanmelond. And have you... Your war camp's building now. Perfect. So you'll get those units for free. Eastern Osgiliath got a war camp. Oh, and Ithilien Rangers. Welcome to the fight, Ithilien Rangers. We need to pluck up the garrison of Kirithunga. We need to prop it up. Anulond, you are also way too far away to be military in nature, so queue up eco buildings if you would. Merchant's Wharf, yes please. Market, yes please. That'll do you for now. Just slowly plodge your way through those so I don't have to come back too much. Tryth, what did you just build? I didn't pay attention to that. You got a Dunedain war camp as well, but you're not very Dunedain, so it doesn't make any odds. We can get an apothecary, barracks, library, the lumber camp. Oh, we can get territorial guardsmen up here. Oh yeah, if you would, because then I can take those out and they won't. That will give you free upkeep. We always want free upkeep wherever we can get it.
Yes, my lord.
Right, brilliant. And that is troops from Ossul. Now, obviously, we're going to start losing money with all of these forces, but I don't think that's the end of the world. The longer you stand there, the more they're going to hate you. How can we actually use you in the garrison? There's 150 of those. Have we still got the boats? Oh, yeah.
Ships ready. Your will, my lord. Leaving the boat, my lord.
There we are.
Yes.
You can't merge. You didn't have anything to merge into. What about 11 of you?
As you wish.
Yes, they merged. 3 of you, maybe? No, you might as well. Isn't there a fort somewhere? You go to... You're a candidate for the fort. I'm definitely taking 150 of you. 4 of you. 8 of you. You're all candidates for the fort. Why move you to a fort, though? Just get rid of them. Just get rid of them. What are you going to do with that pathetic little garrison force? You're not going to do anything. Yeah, I'll take the cavalry, definitely. The Horondor Mercs are so far from home, there's almost no point holding them. There we are. Gives us a bit more free upkeep. Please, in Tharbad, our large city, if you would take a militia garrison... Oh, the bridge would be lovely, but it's way too expensive. Carpenter's Hut after that, and then I'll come back to you then. You need to be defensive, because if Enedwyth do attack, you are where we shall break them. Matrithe's not going to do much in that instance. I really do want to make Isengard my capital, but for now I'm happy for it to be our ceremonial capital, even if our administrative capital will remain at Kalembel to maximise profits in Gondor. We are the South Africa of Middle-earth. Just throw the word capital before every major city and see if it fits.
Your orders, my lord.
More troops are available on this garrison. That's fantastic. I will be taking away 11 and 12 of you.
Yes.
Just go into Lynn here for now. Although Lynn here can't retrain those, can it? It can train the pikes, but not until it upgrades. Oh, but then a 1.5% of 7, that's 78 people a turn, isn't it? So, and then 80. So it's about 25-ish turns away, actually. That's a lot. Because we can train all these forces. Ah, that's fantastic. Look at that. The garrison army readies. No, they can't go anywhere, so stay in the fort for now. I'd very much like you to give me a war camp if you don't already have one. Why can't you currently train me a war camp? Why is it not in the building list? Ah, because we're missing a moot hall, almost certainly. Barracks encampment requires a moot hall. Yep. Get a moot hall up and running then. Let's turn you into a recruitment hub, same as Dol Amroth. Dol Amroth hasn't got the ability to build it either because, again, it doesn't have a moot hall, so chuck that in. Oh, no, giving me a carpenter's hut. Holy hell. Just thinking of long-term savings. Militarily, we've got enough places that can train troops. Oh, look at this. Thelen's doing nicely as well. You haven't even got a carpenter's hut either. Ethering. Ah, yeah, chuck me in a Mason's Guild house. Mason's Guild house. We'll get them in time. We'll get them in time. Right, leave behind the unexperienced one.
Yes.
Head for Fanmelond.
To exhaustion, continue by your command.
Fanmelond has no garrison, and again is a town. Why are there 2 towns on the border? Who put towns on the bloody border?
Your orders, my lord.
But we are swapping out troops for replenishing, but we do have to hit that Candish army, so that's what we will do.
My lord.
For now, is it Morfinnan or Morfinian? Morfinian. Go into Minas Morgul.
I'm gonna stick
I think we'll be attacked by Mordor in the end turn. Bring it on. But Captain Irinhook. Do we have any troops to add? No. Well, we can take one of them.
Yes.
Yes, my lord.
Hello, Irinhook. I'm Aragorn, High King of the Reunited Kingdom of Gondor and Arnor. With the scepter of Enumenas
Attack!
and the crown of Gondor in my hands and on my head. I will swipe at your legs and crush your very skulls into the dirt. The power of Numenor is reborn in Middle-earth, and unless you bow the knee now, I will wipe the blemish of Candish horses from this land. With Rohirrim at my side and the stout horses of Dol Amroth, the horse lords of Cand are not long for this world. Have an arrow ready. Right, our cavalry rides up against their cavalry. It's time for the clash of champions. Rohirrim versus Akand. Now, we do only have one unit of Rohirrim, and early tier Rohirrim are actually very kind of average, really. I mean, they're good cavalry, don't get me wrong, but they're not, like, they're not stellar, are they? They're not late game cavalry. Temper your expectation. Oh, this is an awful place to hit them. Oh, no, we're hitting them, so we do what we like. Oh, that's an interesting position they've taken. They don't appear to be moving to meet us. This is just going to be so much cavalry. Now do that a different way around. Put you guys there, and because you guys are anti-cavalry, you take up that side. And remember, Boromir is a formidable melee combatant once we get to that point as well. The only thing we have to worry about with Cand is how many cavalry archers they have, as we are learning from our own Candish playthrough. Right, speed it up, and everybody run into position. You guys feel free to skirmish away if they get a bit too close. Interesting position they've adopted. Aragorn's protected on that left corner, which is good. We've taken up a flank-like position. Right, we are being peppered, so let's try and swarm their cavalry with our own. That's how you kill cavalry. Oh, our cavalry over there are dying. How they don't know that that unit is there is beyond me. Right, two of you. Just blob into the Barun Raiders if you would. Coastal Wardens. Right, there's our cavalry horde pushing back the Barun Raiders, and the Barun Raiders skirmish mode not working against cavalry because cavalry is about the only thing that forces skirmish mode to never work properly. Because
the battle is very much in our favor. Victory will be ours.
The cavalry's just too quick. They catch up to them. Oh, look, they're running away. Aragorn's prowess is so strong. Right, what we're going to do then is we're just going to charge these buggers. Sod it. Bloody rush them all. In we go, boys. In we go. They've run away almost immediately as soon as our cavalry hit them, so let's just bloody crush them. Rohirrim ready here. Right, so Aragorn's going in. Step tribesmen. They've charged into those archers. Pike's going in for the Nomad Axeman. You get in there and throw javelins. Our cavalry is hit into their cavalry. Next set down the line. Lovely, we love to see it. We love to see it. Genius. Only a genius could win that battle. Well, you're not a genius, so you're not going to win that battle. Oh, sorry, I haven't got any of you on. Let's get Boromir involved because he's a fantastic melee combatant, as I have already just rammed down your throats, and I'm saying again. How are we doing on the cav at the back, boys? They're pulling away.
Stand, men of the West.
Chief of the Dunedain. Oh, you guys survived somehow. Well done. It's the only problem with Medieval 2 generals you're all very aware of by now. Aragorn's company might be absolutely formidable in battle, but if Aragorn gets unluckily cut down in his prime, then it doesn't mean diddly squat how useful his bodyguard is. Also, he's just been charged in the back. It does seem rather funny that Boromir doesn't have the battle ability that uses his own voice line. Right, how are we doing down here, Cav? I need some Cav to circle around and help Aragon, so you're going to come out of the group.
The enemy general lies dead.
Yeah, we've got routing. We've got routing. We have got mass routing. Hit them, hit them now, 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 hit them now. It's over for them. Don't worry about... Boromir, you're free to do that if it all goes away. Right, there's hardly anything still fighting. Some marauders over there. Get those nomad warriors, get those step archers. You're not mine. White City will prevail. Someone go and shut down those bloody cavalry archers. Oh, our Blackroot Vale archers got charged. But they survived. Aragon's safe. There are some units still going on, but 80% of the enemies died. That's good to see.
Behold how
yes,
our cowardly
it's
foe
over.
runs. It's time to press the attack.
Right, if we have cavalry doing nothing, get out there and capture something. '87. That was a good, crushing victory. And losses to Aragon just do not matter because he replenishes them all. 247, 1,804. And Aragon killed 336. Yes, Aragon, I prostrate myself before thee and beg for just a glimmer of your shining brilliance to bless my life. I would follow you as Emperor of Mankind. He's so good in melee. The only thing I would love Aragorn to have is arrows as well. Chuck the stats of a sort of Dunedain Steel Bowman on those Grey Company and you've got a real winner in my eyes. Ah, your people don't want you. Sorry.
Glory, honor, victory.
Your orders.
Hello, Ostathiel. I will take you back.
Engage.
And I will massacre
As
the
you
population
command.
again. Fantastic work all round, everyone. Absolutely stellar job. Right. Let's hope that Mordor do attack us. I'm going to end the turn. Now, if Khand attacks us on the bridge, I'm not going to fight it. But if Mordor attacks us at Cirith Ungol, I will. And you'll get the pleasure
Yes,
of that.
my lord.
Ah, and Dol Guldur did bugger off. They finally realised. Brilliant. Have we got a free general up there, actually? No, we haven't. Can someone have some children, please? I'd love it if someone could really knock out some children.
Your orders, my lord.
Denethor is never going to be free upkeep, but he makes so much more money than he takes out of the city, so it just doesn't matter. If we drop the tax rate, the population will grow, but I'm happy for it to wilt, to be honest. Give me a bit more money. Squeeze some more out of the population. Bum, ba-dum, bum, bum, bum. Right, in the turn, let's see what happens. Come on, Mordor. Hit me at Cirith Ungol. I'm ready. My body is ready. Give it to me. We'll meet them at the walls of Cirith Ungol, and we will crush them. Go on, 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 go on. Go on, man. You've got your siege. No, Mordor, no. Don't make me rise up and attack you. I don't want to have to do that. Khand going to hit us on the bridge. Dun, 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 dun. No, Khand don't have the stones either. Fascinating. Alright, how many turns have you got? 2 more. Well, we can't let you die, so we're going to have to rise up and fight him. Gelebrin's not happy with us. Why are you a castle and not a town? When was that change made, and why was it made? No, I probably shouldn't get rid of that then, because it doesn't like us very much anyway. Well, it's only because we're not the same culture, isn't it? Yeah, bugger. Chuck in a library, call it a day on that. Right, Aragorn,
Yes,
hit Ostathiel.
We shall engage.
Siege those buggers out. Karasas.
shall prevail.
Ooh, Karasas'
Yes.
nice looking army's getting ready. We got some more troops over there. Take both of those to the
As you
Aragorn
wish.
army. Thank you
Managing armies,
kindly.
my lord.
More. What's going on there, Harad? Sneaking past.
Yes.
This is interesting. It looks like if we can muster up a force, I think we'll be able to cross the river at this rate. Definitely. Oh, have you got the highest tier guild? Yes, you have. Oh, well done, Pelagi. It'll be money then, please. I'll take some roads, I'll take some mines, I'll take a dockyard. Not some mines, some farms, sorry. You might as well chuck in a Dundine Barracks, Royal Hall. Just queue it all up. What the hell? 8,000 gold coins? Not as many as we would hope for. Less than half of what I'd hoped for.
Your orders, my lord.
We're going to swap out 23 of them and 17 of them.
As you wish.
And we're going to take the 2 good
By
ones.
your command. Join
Yeah,
in
Istvan,
Yes,
there's
my
no
lord.
purpose for you just sitting in there doing nothing. We need to
Your
move you
orders, my lord.
somewhere. Everywhere has a general, though, that needs one. Kid if the doesn't have anything. Chuck in a Dundine and get yourself roads as well. Or you can get mines. And a Master Carpenters, yeah. Let's turn all this area into eco-friendly. Oh, you're building roads. Nice. Nice. Nice, 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 nice. I'll take roads from you as well, yeah. Chuck all of that in. What the hell? Throw it in. To allow mass recruitment continues.
My lord. As you wish. Orders.
Move up to the next fort. Well, if we leave Istvan there as a governor of Lynn here, actually, because if we cross the river, then that's fine. He can act as governor. I'm happy with that. Kaloniak got land clearance up in the north. Well done to you. Kaloniak is a keep, relatively safe one as well, because it's unlikely we'll get attacked from anyone there. Keep's not all that useful. 177 people, Jesus. Chuck in chicken farming, get a library, and get a barracks up. Minas Morgul got a garrison. Good. Get another one. Get a war camp. Get an armourer. Why do we want an armourer? Get a library. Long before you get a war camp. And Isengard got the militia garrison. Get the next tier after you built your library as well. Yeah. Okay. So, army in the north.
Yes, my lord.
Angmar is seeking to hit us at Fenestruna.
Your orders, my lord.
But the garrison army is ready. Yes, 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 yes. Ostsoul. Delightful. The Sentinels and the Rangers are going to come in. It just seems a way... Well, if we leave the Wardens... I'm thinking chuck in some Bree. The defence here is so easy. I think Bree archers are fine. They've got you covered in that. Why don't you take some Cav as well, then? I want to take all of that, to be honest.
Your will. By your
Yes, my lord.
And so I will.
Your orders, my lord.
orders. Yes.
Form up on the bridge. Fenestrunen, you are to stay... Oh, you're going to have more troops in a turn. Oh, and you're upgrading. Ah, yes. It's nice to see what things build. We need to hit the orcs, actually. Maybe that's where we should turn our attention. While Angmar's in a bit of a stalemate, maybe we should sweep out the leg of the orcs. Misty Mountains is ripe for the taking, and a bountiful place at that. An army is managing up here. They're not attacking us on the
Yes, my
bridge,
lord.
which means we can build an army behind them, merge it with that army, and then swipe away at them. Oh, that's lovely. I'm liking all of this thing, and I'm loving these metaphors. Swipe, take the leg, sweep the leg. Alright, all there is then is to hit that Mordor army.
Taste of my blade.
Oh no, they've gone for even more siege, so give them another turn. So what we will do then is end there. Because I've yet to actually record the intro that I was talking about, so hopefully you enjoyed it, but I haven't even recorded it yet, so I don't know if I've enjoyed it. But hopefully. Anyway, for now, I do hope you have enjoyed that. This is your second episode of the Reunited Kingdom this week. Now, there will be a live stream this weekend because I'm free for the weekend. So there will be one. And it will be Reunited Kingdom, and it should be damned good fun. So I hope you will tune into that. I will try and do a Battle of Middle-earth episode this week as well, but Battle of Middle-earth's taken a bit of a backseat while work's gotten a bit busier. Obviously, work doesn't eat into my evening all that much. I mean, it does a little bit, but not massively. But when you've been absolutely stressed off your rocker for the day, when you come home, the farthest thing from your mind is, oh, now I've got to put on a nice face and be interesting for 30 to 45 minutes. And when you are absolutely cream-crackered, which is English for
Your
knackered,
orders.
Your will.
you don't really want to have to force yourself to be interesting. And my rule is never record when I'm not feeling up to it, which I say so often so that you all are aware. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed today's one. I've enjoyed today's one massively, actually. This has been wonderfully fun. So, thank you for watching. And until we speak again, Nevair Neden Pedamad Melonin, and farewell.